roadmap, and we're going to go down through the flow. We're going to go running the topicality, our spinning DA, and our ozone DA. Judges ready? Okay. Our interpretation of it's private. The USFG is government in Washington, D.C. I'm just going to reread this. The federal government of the United States is centered in Washington, D.C. It means belonging to or to that thing. They're doing this from a different country, different corporation, that this is a private sector. Yes, they may state that this is supported by U.S. federal government, but where are their sources? And this, just going back on this, the violation is the exploration and or development is done by private entity, the USFG. Our standards ground the core generic DAs, politics, spending, trade-off relations, all assume USFG action. Also, no uniqueness for any DA. Privatization is the direction of the status quo. We state in the status quo that we already have this technology to do this, so why are we spending $3.8 trillion on this? So that should flow to the affirmative. Going on to the spending DA. So, my opponent and my partner were stating, should we just ignore this? No, we shouldn't, because our economy right now has just recently gotten out of a recession. We don't need to be spending trillions of dollars on this program that's only going to last for, 20 years? I think that was their timeline. And as my partner stated earlier, the stimulus package is like, only $2 billion, and they're taking $3.8 trillion. This is just not economically feasible, Judge, so that should flow to the negative, because going back on my spending DA card that I read earlier, we should be worrying about other courses or other obstacles that our economy has faced, like the Japanese disaster, the European sovereign debt crisis, the U.S. budget deficit, which is more important than just magnetic reconnection. And they also state, this also goes back with their funding, which are just estimates. I'd like to stress this. This funding that they're going through are just estimates of where their sources are coming from. These are estimates. So they say in their plan that this, I asked him in CX that this will be, is this a mandate that they will give back? But truly, Judge, they are lying. They are going, this is just going back into the funding, because they're going to try to spend as much money, or they're going to probably spend all their money, because this is probably not, it's not mandated. Or they say it's mandated, but they will use all that money. Going back on ozone layers, spending DA, our opponent comes up here and he states that they're trying to find cures and things for cancer. We come up here and we state that the exposure to UV radiation has implications on the human body, including cataract, skin cancer, as well as an ecosystem. So this is kind of being contradicting to what we were stating. We're stating that their ozone depletion disadvantage can cause all these things, and our opponent comes up here and he's like, we are trying to find cures for skin cancer, and then he goes off talking about philosophies. Last thing I know, CX is over for policy debate, not philosophy, and he keeps asking my partner earlier in CX, do you believe this, do you believe that? This is not based on opinion, but facts. Okay, this is policy debate, not philosophy. And going back on our spending, just want to stress that on spending and funding, that we should be worrying more about our economy. Going back on, I just feel like I'm reiterating myself, judges, because going back to now I just feel like I'm going back to topicality. They're just not topical. They're not topical. Their funding is just estimates from their sources, and they're taking $3.8 trillion, which is not economically feasible. And our economy right now is just not very well. We can face economic collapse, which we should not. We should try to avoid that instead of trying to put $3.8 trillion into something. I think I have covered all our arguments today, and with that, I respectfully ask for a negative ballot. Thank you for judging.